I first came to Northfield in about 1941, but I came again in 1945. It was on the Rock Island Rocket, a fancy train that went from St. Paul all the way down to Fort Worth, Texas. I was in the Air Force at the time and transferred down there and went on out to Midland where we had a bombardier school. What I remember about pulling into Northfield, and we were sitting in the train in the passenger's car that straddled 3rd Street. So the station was right over here, 3rd Street is right underneath us, and it was loaded with kids. This was right at the end of World War II. The Germans had surrendered May 7th, although we count the 8th as the day of the surrender, and the Japanese had surrendered in August after 2 huge nuclear bombs had been dropped on Japan. So it was the first time when students were coming back after the war. And you have to know that, they've had all kinds of experiences. And some of the girls were out working during the war with jobs, trying to save money, and the men were away in the service. And sometimes up at St. Olaf, there were only 6 or 7 men who were maybe studying for the ministry or had physical disabilities, so they couldn't participate. So anyway, when we drove up and I looked out the window, I had my uniform and my wings and all the stuff that a late teenager has on, I saw all these kids mingling around, everybody hugging and squeezing and ready for the new school term to begin. Well, I was impressed, but I never dreamt that in a year I would be in that crowd. I went down to Midland, Texas, and a couple other places, and I was shipped out, went overseas. I was in the Army of Occupation in Okinawa. I came back, and in the next year, I was the last student, the very last student to be able to matriculate at St. Olaf. Cully Swanson called me one night, and he said, "Alan, are you still interested in going to St. Olaf?" I said, "I sure am." He said, "Be down here with your suitcase tomorrow." And that was the beginning. School had just started. And so that was my experience there. And I'll always remember, and I've been back and forth over 3rd Street many, many times. But that's a happy, fond memory.